Hi everyone, welcome to Defi Daily, where every day we talk about DeFi, going through different analysis, tutorials and news. Today we're going to talk about Blizz Finance, that is a money market into the Avalanche DeFi ecosystem that right now is offering probably one of the highest APY into the whole DeFi ecosystem. I'm talking about more than 2000% of APR. And not only, they are literally paying you up to 70% in order to borrow some cryptos. Obviously, it's not so easy because, as you will see, there is some tricky point that you have to understand in order to be for real able to catch this kind of opportunity. But in any case, I really would like to discuss with you about this platform because, as you will see, they are implementing all the different best practices that we have seen into the DeFi ecosystem in the last couple of months. And they are just unifying all of them and creating a new kind of money market. And that's quite powerful and interesting. Before to start, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel. You have to do just to press the subscribe button. And if you want to also receive a notification every time I post a new video, please press also the ring bell button. Guys, leave me also a big thumbs up in order to grow the channel, reach more people. And yes, in this way we can help other people to understand what are the different opportunities that this market is offering right now. And if you want to also drop a comment, you will help me even more into this goal. Remember that all the contents in this channel are just for educational purpose and nothing has to be intended as a financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that could be great, but please remember, do always your own research first. Okay, let's jump into the topic of Blizz Finance, and I would like to start with DeFi Llama in order to understand what is the total velocity inside right now. And most of all, I want to show you that right now this platform is already in the 4th position for total velocity with a growth in the last week by an 80%. And that's quite impressive if you think that the platform right now is so young, because it has been launched just at the beginning of November, more exactly at the 8th of November, but has already reached a quite impressive amount of total velocity. DeFi Llama is talking about 1.3 billion, but if you go to the Blizz Finance's website, you can see that right now the total market size is around 4 billion. In any case, it's not important if it is 1 billion or 4. What is really important is that the platform is growing a lot. And in a moment you will see also why it is growing so much and what kind of perspective we can have for this platform in the next future. Let's have a look also to the price of the Blizz token. And as you can see here, right now we are talking about a token that has a price of $2.52, that has reached a peak at the beginning of 5.3 and right now has been recovering after a big dump that brought the price to just $0.5. The main reason why the price is so volatile and the reason why we have seen a spike at the beginning is because if you were staking some tokens, and more exactly here into this feature, stake Blizz, that is the token of the platform, you would have the opportunity to earn a quite an impressive APY. Right now we are talking about 135, but if you go here and just lock your Blizz, you will obtain an APR that is more than 1,000. So we are really talking about just some really insane number. So for this reason, at the beginning, having this kind of APR, everyone was just starting to buy. But as soon as they were starting to receive some rewards, they dumped all the rewards, and that's the reason why the price has dumped even by 90%. Because if you looked at here from $5, that was the peak, to the minimum that was around 0.55, it means a dump by 90%. As you can understand, the volatility is really insane, because doing a 2x and after that, in not even another week, doing a dump by 90%, that's totally crazy. So always pay attention to it, because remember, yes, you are receiving some reward, but the real price, the real value of the rewards that you are receiving could be quite volatile. And as you can see, the price, the real value that you can gain, it's not so sure. In any case, let's have a look on how does it work. As you can see from the interface, it is quite close to what we are used to have on any other marketplace, more specifically on AAVEE. And here on the markets, you can have a look to the different markets that are available. Right now you have AVAX, USDC, USDT, ETH and WBTC. For each of them you can deposit. It means that if you have some of these coins into your wallet and you want to start receiving some rewards, you can just supply them into this platform and you will start earning this APY. The APY that you will start earning is this one that you can find it here. Right now for AVAX, for example, is 13%. The truth is that you can receive even a boost to this APY, and the boost you can find it here where it is written AVAX, for example. You can see that the basic APY is 13.4%, but down here you can find also another number that in this moment is 11.95% APR. That is the bonus, the rewards that you will receive paid into the token of the platform, in this case the Blizz token. Remember that this kind of rewards will not be available immediately, so you will not able to claim them immediately, but you will have to wait a vesting period of 3 months. So that's quite important for you to understand. You can even claim them before, but in that case you will have to pay a penalty of the 50%. If you want to know more about how does it work, you can check the documentation here, and here you can find all the details about the rewards. As you can see here, similar to Ellipsis protocol, rewards are vested for 3 months. You can immediately receive your rewards by taking a 50% exit penalty if you do not wish to wait. Same information you can retrieve it also from this page, that is the Manage Blizz page, where here you can find the unlocked tokens, so the tokens that you claim immediately without any penalty, or here the vesting Blizz, that are all the tokens that you can claim with a penalty of 50%. Going on, once you have supplied your cryptos inside the depositing feature, you would be able to use the borrowing feature. Remember that the amount of cryptos that you can borrow, it really depends from the kind of asset that you have deposited. For example, if you go to markets, you will see that for each asset, let's click on Avalanche for example, you can see down here that these numbers are, for example, maximum launch value is 50%. It means that if you have deposited $100 of AVAX, you can borrow a maximum of $50. Let's say that you have provided $100 of AVAX, but also $100 of USDC, for example. As you can see in this case, the maximum launch value is 80%. So it means that at the end you will be able to borrow a maximum of $80 plus $50, so $130. So pay attention to it, because of each asset has his own metrics. And the same applies also for the liquidation threshold, so at which moment your position will be liquidated. In this example, let's say that you have deposited $100 into USDC. In the moment when the amount of cryptos that you are borrowing is going beyond the threshold of 85%, in that so it means $85 also, in that moment you will be liquidated. So you are not only losing your position, but you have also to pay a liquidation penalty. That is the one that you can find it here. In this case, it is 5%. Okay, let's come back to the borrowing feature. So we have understood that when we have supplied a certain amount of asset, we are able to borrow a certain amount of cryptos. You can choose whatever cryptos you want, just click on them. And here you can find you will find this interface where you can decide the amount of cryptos you wanna borrow. This slider will help you to understand if your position is safer or more at risk. I highly recommend you to use a threshold that is the safest as possible, because remember, the crypto market is really volatile, so it's just a matter of seconds that you will be liquidated, losing your position, but also having to pay the liquidation fee. Remember another thing, because as you can see from this interface, you can find all the recap, all the breakdowns of all the metrics from the market label. Here you can find, for example, for AVAX, yes, you have to pay a borrow APY of 50% per year. It means that if you keep your loan open for 1 year, you would have to pay $50 if you are borrowing just $100. But on the other side, you will receive also some rewards. Right now, this amount of rewards is about 113% per year. So from a certain point of view, we can say that yes, you are paying a lot in order to borrow, but on the other side, you are also paid a lot. And at least in theory, at the end, you would have to end with a plus 63%, because it means 113% minus the 50%, it makes around the 63%. And if it is, yes, it is true, on the other side, you have to remember that this kind of APR is vested for 3 months. So it means that you will not able to retrieve your rewards until the vesting period is ended. Or you can claim all of them, but on the other side, you would have to pay a penalty of the 50%. From what we have seen until now, we can say that yes, they are distributing quite a high rewards, but on the other side, they are also having some really insane APY in terms of how much you have to pay in order to borrow some cryptos, because be honest, 50% to borrow AVAX is a really high cost. But the main reason because they are doing it is to incentivize people to just stake their Blizz token and not just selling. Because as you can see from here, all the people that are just staking the Blizz tokens will participate to the revenue sharing. It means that all the fees that are collected will be redistributed to people who are staking the Blizz token. So that's the main reason why we are seeing a so high borrowing APY, because it is used to incentivize people to just not selling their tokens but staking them. And that's also the reason because the staking APY is so high. All the rewards that you are receiving, you can collect them by here, where is written claimable fees. In this area, you will find all the fees, so all the rewards that are generated through the staking feature. There is another opportunity that is called Lock Blizz. The main difference between staking and locking your tokens is that in the moment when you are locking them, you are unable to withdraw them for a period of 3 months. But the advantage is that you will not only receive the fees collected through the platforms, but you will also receive all the penalties that has been paid through the platform by all the people that are claiming their rewards before the end of the vesting period. So as you can understand, in this case, the amount of rewards that you will receive is much higher. And that's the reason why you are seeing here 1,260% of APR. As always, we are talking about APR. It means not compounded. So the compounded interest could be even higher. Another feature that is offered by the Blizz Finance is the staking feature. Here you can stake your LP tokens. So if you go to Trader Joe, and you will find the link here, on Trader Joe you can just add liquidity to the pool Blizz AVAX, and this will empower the platform, because higher it is the liquidity inside this pool, also more stable will be the Blizz token. And also in this case, the APY is simply insane because we are talking about, not APY, sorry, we are talking about APR, so not compounded, that is around 2,200%. So they are truly incentivizing people to just providing liquidity and staking them. And all of this is quite cool because they are for real pushing people not just to sell their tokens, but to use them in order to increase their rewards and their real gain. There is another feature that is called a protocol on DEX liquidity, and right now it is sold out. I don't know if it will be opening again, but it is quite interesting because what they were doing is creating their own treasury. The idea for each protocol to create their own treasury in order to have some liquidity to be used for any kind of use case, it is becoming a trend. And that's exactly what the Blizz Finance is doing, offering people the possibility to buy AVAX at a discounted price, providing to the protocol some Blizz AVAX LP tokens. So providing some tokens that is representing the liquidity that they have added into the pool containing the token of the platform plus AVAX. So let's try to summarize, because as you have seen, this platform is offering so many different opportunities and so many different features. And yes, I know at the first glance it could be quite confusing because there are so many different things with so high APR that you are wondering, oh my God, but why there are so many features, why we are seeing a so high APR, it is sustainable or it's not. And I completely agree with you. My first feeling the moment when I saw the platform was, oh my God, another copycat and another platform that is just pushing with some insane APR. Oh my God, why again? But at the end, I started to dig inside the platform, and I have to admit that it's quite cool because what I'm seeing is a platform that is trying to innovate the typical money market model where you can just deposit and borrow some cryptos, introducing all the best practice that we have seen. So introducing, for example, from Ellipsis, the possibility to retrieve your tokens only after a vesting period, creating some dynamic in the order of a profit sharing. So all the people who are staking their tokens of the platform, they are not receiving some new token that is minted by the platform, but they are just participating and just receiving the fees that are collected through the platform. In this way, you are creating some positive cycle that is pushing people to use the token and not just to sell them. On the other side, there is also this, the protocol on liquidity, that is an idea that is becoming every day more powerful and has literally becoming a trend. So what I'm seeing is a protocol that is trying to follow the market, to innovate himself, and to use in his favor and also in favor of the holder of the token some dynamic that will able to sustain the price. Because if we are creating more use case, more opportunity for people who are holding the token to earn even more, it means taking out some selling pressure, and in this way we are sustaining the price. But if the price keeps at a certain level, it means also that more people are incentivized to just hold the token, because they are start thinking to believe, okay guys, but it's quite sustainable. It's not just a farm and dump token. In any case, pay attention, because as we have seen from the chart, this kind of platform, especially at the beginning, are so insanely volatile. We have seen a 2x in no matter a couple of hours, and after that in no matter a week, a downside of 90%. So that's absolutely true that the platform is moving quite in a good way, introducing several use cases for the token, but you have to remember that the volatility, it is something that is intrinsic into this market, and especially into the protocols that are growing so fast. And that's quite normal to see a dump. So don't stop only to fundamentals, because even if we are seeing something that could seem good, it doesn't mean that the price will reflect that kind of fundamental into the short term. If you're asking me what I'm thinking into the long term, I will say that it's quite too early. I like what they are doing. I don't like personally the interface, and I would love to have a more detailed documentation. But apart from that, I'm really quite curious to see what they will produce in the next couple of months, because it's quite interesting to see that they are trying to really follow the market and implementing all the best practices. Guys, as always, if you have any kind of question, just write me into the comments below and I will be more than happy to answer to you. Remember to leave me a big thumbs up and to drop a comment in order to help reach more people and help other people to understand how this market is working. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye, guys.